All right, now in this tutorial, we're going to go over the settings menu. That's located in the slide out menu, and all the way down, you'll see the gear icon. So settings. The one thing I'll say about settings is that this is constantly expanding. Every new feature we add potentially introduces new settings. So you can review this fairly frequently to see what has changed. Okay, let's go through it. Now, some people like the light mode, some people like dark mode. That's the first thing that's available. And then of course, auto dark mode means that from dusk till dawn, it will be dark, and from dawn till dusk, it will be light. That's a nice feature. The map, there's quite a few settings for the map that will be implemented in the future. For right now, let me go through a few of them. Auto add mile marker waypoints. This means that while you're recording a track, it will drop a waypoint every mile or every 10 miles or not at all. And these show up as waypoints when that track is highlighted, so you can easily judge distance. You'll see OB1, OB2, etc. You can also turn that off. Now, mile marker notifications, if you have the app in the background or even if you have it in the foreground, every time you pass a mile, you'll get a push note to remind you that you are still recording a track. You can record a track whether the app is in the background or not. And then finally, default new locations to private. So if you're using the app in private mode, you do not intend to share your locations with the community by default, then you can set default new locations to private, and then only you will be able to see them. During the creation process, of course, you can always set it to public if you want to share a location. Okay, now notifications. You get a bunch of notifications from OB1. So these are all the notifications you can possibly receive, and you have control to turn any of them off or all of them off. You can select all of them off. You can also turn off emails from the platform if you feel like that it is too verbose, or custom tailor it to your liking. Notification settings. Offline mode. Now, what offline mode does is it makes the app behave when you have no service. That means instead of sending a bunch of, to get a little bit technical, instead of sending a bunch of API calls to the server trying to do things it cannot do, like if you were to try and go to the forums or the discussion, it simply won't allow those types of communications because you are offline, and it more quickly does the appropriate thing. If you're saving a location, it will save it offline. It knows what to do. So offline mode is clearly optimized for no service. Okay, bam. Auto offline mode on launch. What this does, if you are offline and you launch the app, it will automatically open in offline mode, and it won't be doing things like trying to log on, trying to fetch conversations, and a bunch of other things in the background. It will detect that you have no service. It will launch in offline mode. Now, the way that works, once you have service, if you relaunch the app, it will detect that you have service, and it will turn off offline mode. However, if you don't close the app, then offline mode will stay on until you turn it off, okay? Biometric authentication, that is your thumbprint on Google and Android. It is your Face ID on iOS. You can turn biometric auth on. And then prevent app sleep. If you have all apps set, or if you have the phone set to not sleep, then it won't sleep. But if the phone does go to sleep, you can force preventing Overland Bound One to sleep. So your phone will never lock, your phone will never go into its sleep mode. Now, all the other things, terms of service, privacy policy, and community guidelines, we're going to go into those in great detail right now. I'm kidding. You know what those things are. And then miscellaneous, this stuff that you're seeing on the screen, I want to point out that I am in development mode because I am a developer. I'm on the development team. You won't see these things. This is just for our debugging purposes only. And then finally at the very bottom, delete account. If you would like to delete your account, you can hit delete account. Please be safe and don't do that willy-nilly because it cannot be undone. Once we receive the request to delete your account, it will be gone. It will never come back. And I believe that is it for settings at this time. Again, you guys, settings will constantly be expanding. You know, some of the things coming up, units, kilometers versus miles, and things of that nature will constantly be adding. Okay? All right, I'll see you in the next tutorial.